right, guys. So we have some new controversy, as it were, that kind of came about. Um, Recently, Zendaya is announced to be playing Mary Jane Watson in the new Spider-Man movie. Now, Zendaya is African American. Obviously, Mary Jane Watson character, not so much. So there's been a lot of controversy going around with this casting choice. Some are praising it because they're saying, it's fine to have her portray Mary Jane. It gives, gives another role to a minority. Minorities don't get that many roles as it is, so that's great. Base it off her acting, not on the look. She can dye her hair red. All this defense, right? And there's other people who are like, no, this goes against the iconic look that Mary Jane Watson has had for 30 plus years. You're going against that by not making her a white redhead. That's just that's who she is. Now, a similar type of racist type issues have come up before. Tilda Swinton being cast as the Ancient One, and Doctor Strange was obviously one of the. It had a lot of outcry. It had a lot of outcry against it and everything else because she was taking on a role they accused Marvel of whitewashing, as it were. So, and now when this happens, they're accusing Marvel of not being true to the character. So, yeah, I guess Marvel can win either way. So I thought I'd go ahead and give some of my thoughts on it because there are a lot of thoughts on it. There's been a lot of posts. I'm so sure there's been numerous videos and paper pieces on it. As far as Zendaya as a person is concerned, I have no knowledge of her real acting potential. I don't know her as an actress. I haven't seen I don't even know what she's in or was in on the Disney Channel. I've not seen that. And that's all I've really heard that she's been a part of. So I can't speak for her in that regard. If she is a good actress, if they saw something in her, obviously that's a cool thing. But as far as I'm concerned, she doesn't move me either way because she doesn't, her acting, I have nothing to base that on. Okay, so that's out of the way. Let's go ahead and jump right into the race part of it. Because there are people that have issues with it because she is, she's a black woman playing a white woman or taking on a known white role, I should say, that has previously been a white role. A lot of people are upset because it's not true to the character's look. So I want to make that clear. It's not a racist thing because they're against it because it's not holding true to the look that this character has had. If you take Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the X-Men films, a lot of people were against Hugh Jackman being cast. Now, not necessarily about acting. I don't think he was really established at the time. The problem was he's like 6 feet, over 6 feet tall, and Wolverine is not. Wolverine's like 5 foot, 5'5" maybe best. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's a short guy, short, stocky guy. Hugh Jackman is not that. So they were against it because it wasn't true to the character as they knew the character to be, and I'm maintain it's the character to be. So, just because it doesn't have to specifically be a racist thing to be against it. You can be against it because it just doesn't hold in your mind what is true to the source material that you're pulling from. Heath Ledger as a Joker got controversy not only because of his previous acting movies that he's been in, but because of the look of the Joker as well. They just weren't on board with that. Jared Leto, same thing. The look really, drove some people away because it didn't incorporate what they viewed as the Joker. You can say the same thing about Lex. You could say the same thing about, Superman, Henry Cavill, and Man of Steel, as far as some of the things he was willing to do, or Batman BVS, some of the things he's willing to do. The Mandarin was another example that, Marvel did, where a lot of people were against that because of a race thing as well. So just because they don't agree with this based off of the race not holding true to the race that we've seen before does not make it actually racist. It doesn't mean they're actually being racist. Mary Jane is an iconic character with a lot of history in comic books and in film and in shows, and she has that look. So you're changing that look, you're bound to get some purists and fans that do not like that. When they change outfits of some of the heroes, people can be harsh on that. When they have when they have actors of different, Wonder Woman got, for instance, let's go with Wonder Woman, got a lot of crap. Gal Gadot got a lot because she didn't perfectly embody the character physically. A lot of people came out on that. No, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you got to be careful when you accuse some people, well, you must be just racist. It doesn't always have to be that. It doesn't. You can't always jump to that and be like, well, you must be racist. Some people are, and those people, if you are idiots. But it doesn't mean that that's the case every time, that it has to be racist. So I'm actually going to read you my quote that I did, because there was a post and I quote on it, and I want to make sure that I get it across to you guys perfectly what I'm going for with this, okay? So my quote is, I want balance, and minorities need more opportunity. As a Native American, how many roles do you think I've seen lately given to Native American Indians? I'm still waiting. Yeah, that's what I thought. Minorities should be given more opportunities in general, but that does not mean that every time someone white is cast in a role like that, that it's racist or whitewashing. They may just be the right person for the job. That goes back to what I said about Scarlett Johansson and Ghost in the Shell as Major Kusanagi. However, every time a person of color is hired in a previously white role, it doesn't mean it's purely for them to say that they are being diverse, which a lot of people go to and accusing Marvel as well. So, sometimes they just fit the role better. You don't know until you watch the film. People get so up in arms because these characters have iconic looks and history, and you diverge from that with some casting. That includes characters like Wolverine. Remember that? I think we should trust Marvel. I mean, we are getting Luke Cage and a Black Panther movie. And look at the casting choices of the past. Of course, I'm referring to Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Chris Hemsworth as Thor. The list kind of goes on where you have perfect casting take place, or who I deem anyway to be perfect casting. So more minorities should be cast, but don't be so quick to judge purely based on the color of the person cast in the role. And I maintain that. I agree with that. Obviously, I said it. Why wouldn't I? But that's just my mindset on it. And honestly, like I said before, minorities should be involved more. They should get more roles. We should get more opportunities in general. We being minorities. There should be roles written where it doesn't matter the gender, and where you can have a minority take the lead. You can have opportunities like that come about. So I'm not saying that you should be against that. As far as Zendaya is concerned, when she was cast, I took pause. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. It's been incorporated in my life for so long now. And I've always had this look, this image of Mary Jane. It's just the image that comes to my head. doesn't mean I'm not open to the possibility that Zendaya might do a really good job. She might. But she doesn't represent the image that I had in my head this whole time. She is different. So, and again, I'm willing to be like, okay, these films, they have different interpretations. I'm already accustomed to that. I'm going to see this movie and look at it and be like, do I like her? Does she actually embody the character or does she not? And, determine it based off of that, not purely based off of her look or anyone else's look. I've already said Tom Holland does not embody to me what Spider-Man looks like, but I'm willing to give him a chance. So you're going to have that happen. Some people, again, purists may not be that way. Some racists might not be that way. It's the way it is, but at the same time, like, you've got to be open on both sides of it. Don't call everything out as being whitewashing or racist just because, like, don't accuse people of being racist just because they're against her casting. Don't do that. Don't be racist against people purely because they would prefer Mary Jane to look as Mary Jane had. That's not necessarily a racist thing. That goes with her history, the iconic nature of it. And that's why it might, she stands out a lot. I don't know how many people had the problem of that guy in Thor who was a black man that was cast in that role. I forget the gatekeeper, because that wasn't originally he wasn't a black character originally. But I don't remember hearing people up in arms over that. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But that might have to do with people took less notice in it because it wasn't as iconic of a character. I don't know. I mean, this is one of those things where I can honestly see both sides of it. For me personally, I have to wait and see the movie. If she does a really good job, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it did give me pause at the beginning because it wasn't the natural look that the character has had for 30 plus years. So it did give me pause, as I think it would. As Spider-Man gave me pause because he didn't, embody who I had originally seen for this character. He didn't look like the character to me that I have known for 30 plus years. So anytime stuff like that happens, it's going to give me pause. But in any case, that was a lot. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Go ahead and share your thoughts on it. Honestly, what do you think of her casting? Have you seen anything that she's been in? And if so, what is your opinion on that? Because I haven't seen anything, so I can't base it off her look, and I can't base it off her acting. I really have nothing to base off whether she's going to do a good job, except that I tend to trust Marvel. They do a good job in their hiring and their casting. So anyway, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Also, if you want, I am now on Patreon. So I will be doing reviews for there. I'll be linking some of the ones that I'm doing here, some of the content I'm doing here. But I will also like to do specific content for those of you that decide that you are going to pay. It's $1 per movie review, which I know it can add up, I'm sure, but I think you can. I think there's a way to adjust it, or I'm not sure if I'm being honest. I just got started on it, but I thought it was really cool. I'm starting it for something else because I'm doing written reviews for someone else. But I don't know. It would be nice. It would be amazingly awesome if any of y'all decided that you wanted to support me through that. I will take specific requests and I will do the videos and put them up there, and that'll just be for you guys, for any Patreon supporter. And just thank you guys in advance for anyone that decides to do it, even that little amount, because it's a little amount compared to other channels and places and stuff like that. But any amount that y'all kind of give to me for my content, to show support for my content, means the world to me, and it can help. It can really help with everything I'm doing. So just thank you guys in advance for considering it. For those of you that decide that, yeah, I'm going to do it, go ahead and let me know what you'd like to see there. If you want, don't like rush me with a big list, but if you have a couple things you'd like to see me talk about I haven't talked about, or a type of video that I haven't, that you want to see me do, kind of thing, go and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.